Congratulations to OutKast being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Much deserved. This video, I want to give my reaction to it, man. My thoughts on the ceremony. It was good seeing OutKast alive, in great health, and still kicking flavor. They were very Atlanta when they gave their speeches. Andre 3000, he went off the top. Big Boi, uh, I mean, it was kind of structured, but you might as well say he went off the top too, man. He ain't have much to say. Um, and I be thinking like, when you start off as a creative person and you just expressing yourself, I don't really think people think they'll reach that plateau of like being inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like that's past like um validation, confirmation. Like that's it's like going to heaven, on earth. You're cemented with real rock stars, and it's like to be able to witness that alive, and you still have youth on your side, meaning I'm sure they both still can drop albums, and compete in today's climate and try to outdo their former selves. That's such a huge accomplishment, man. I mean, I grew up on OutKast and watching OutKast and going to the skating ring every Friday night and hearing their records, you know what I'm saying, from AT Aliens all the way up into Love Below Speaker Box, man. I just think that's amazing. What an accomplishment. And Andre 3000, so many classic verses, and his growth as a man, and things that he's distanced himself from and things like that. It just show you about the evolution, and most importantly, I think that's just what the biggest takeaway that you can learn from artists like OutKast is. It's all about evolution, man. They're still rooted into what made them who they are, but they've definitely evolved, and that's what you have to be considered, iconic artists. Now, with all that being said, Andre 3000, he got a little choked up when he was talking about he shouted out somebody, and he was saying how these everything's great starting like these small rooms, and that's nothing more than the truth, because I was thinking about me and my cousins, and when we were recording all these albums and records, it was definitely in a small room, but we had such big imaginations. So I hope the next genius or whatever that watched that ceremony, or if they haven't, and my video it inspires you to go watch it, you'll learn something major. That, man, it's true when they say like coming from like a small town, or whatever you're creating, it could be in a small room. You ain't gotta be an artist like a rapper or a singer. It could be your podcast, or it could be where you writing your book. You know what I'm saying? Like those things like that give you the biggest, imagination to conquer this world. And they were able to do it and succeed. Now, they had tribute performances, and off the rip, man, I gotta talk about Tyler the Creator, man. I was so happy to see him perform B.O.B. I've heard him talk about this song before, and it was well deserving for him to get that slot, man. That energy was so amazing, man. Tyler the Creator just make you want to be in the best physical shape of your life and be able to move around, man. I don't see Tyler the Creator being 70 years old hunched over. That dude gonna have a lot of energy, man. He did a great job, man. It was amazing, man, watching him perform. He's one of the best performers of my generation for sure. Doja Cat, man, was doing like a melody to Sorry Miss Jackson, and she wasn't on the same page with the DJ or something. It was kind of weird. It wasn't as bad as they tried to say it was, but you got to get this kind of stuff right, man. When doing stuff for legends, I don't know what was the process of who they chose to do that, but uh, Tyler the Creator made sense. Janae Monet, a student of Prince, a student of Dungeon Family and all that, that made sense. Uh, And I hate Andre 3000 didn't perform, but I respect his wishes. I understand, he said he ain't like in this no more. But Big Boi and Sleepy Brown and Killer Mike. Uh, oh, I left out JID. Shout out to him because he started it off with Big Boi. That was a solid performance. I think he was good choice as well. Um, but it was I love that record, The Whole World. That was one of my, it's crazy. Speaking to Killer Mike, my first introduction to him as a kid, I'm pretty good at just knowing like who stars are and who's gonna be like greats. And I remember my first introduction to Killer Mike was the same time I was introduced to Ti, which was on that Never Scared remix. And I knew them two dudes. I'm like, them dudes gonna be some legends, man. Like I knew it as a kid. And the second time I heard Killer Mike was on that Whole World feature that he did with OutKast, and I'm like, this dude, that's how I want to rap. Killer Mike, man, just is so great with man executing pockets, man, and being able to sound southern, but not be pigeonholed like as a southern rapper, if that makes sense. Like you hear Atlanta, you hear the South in his voice, but he was just born to rap, man. Some people you just know they born for it. It's like them breathing, it's just regular. And Killer Mike's one of them. So it was good to see him, on that stage, man. And Andre 3000 to go from the South got something to say, and now they know, you know, what was said, in a sense. It's a beautiful accomplishment, man. Congratulations to OutKast. It was great seeing, a good portion of Goody Mob on stage and as many people from the Dungeon family. It was a very Atlanta moment. Very good for the South to see that, man. Once again, congratulations to Big Boi, Andre 3000, and the OutKast Collective, man. If you made this far to the video, I want to say thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the God Level Genius YouTube channel. Hit that like button, man. Make sure you repost this video. I am James VirGodo, and as always, be God level. The genius is in you. God level genius.